United States rival in the San Francisco 49ers. Please stay tuned.
Coach, Coors Light is the world's most refreshing beer. Am I right?
Any doubt is there?
No.
Okay, we're on the same page at least on one thing.
Coach, Coors Light in bottles, cans, or kegs, do they all deliver tremendous refreshment?
They all do.
Coach, I like Coors Light poured from a tap. What's that called again?
Who knows what that's called? That's the draft, okay?
Frost Brewed Coors Light, official beer sponsor of the NFL.
Coach, a beer that tastes as cold as the Rockies. Your thoughts?
There's a mountain that can be climbed.
See you at the top, buddy.
Remember this place?
Of course. It's where we first met.
What about here?
Our first date. Our first kiss. I don't remember this place.
You will.
The Leo Diamond, the first diamond ever certified to be visibly brighter. That's just one more reason Kay is the #1 jewelry store in America.
This is where I said yes.
Every kiss begins with K.
Did you know Pizza Hut's amazing Pizza Mia is just $5?
$5?
That flavorful sauce and whole milk mozzarella, all freshly baked for just
$5?
$5.
When you buy 3 or more, they're always $5 each. Only at Pizza Hut.
The Bowl Championship Series returns to Fox this January.
At BrandsMart USA, why wait for a huge Thanksgiving sale when you can save now? Get a 32-inch Brooksonic HD LCD for $398.88. Panasonic's Viera 42-inch HD Plasma is $698.88. A 40-inch HD LCD from Samsung is $798.88. LG's 50-inch HD Plasma is $898.88. Save up to $1,000 off all 46-inch and above 1080p flat panel TVs. Located in Doraville, Kennesaw, and Stockbridge. See BrandsMartUSA.com for holiday hours. BrandsMart USA, of course, your favorite brands at low, low prices.
I'm Saxby Chambliss, and I approve this message.
Our economy is in turmoil, jobs lost, pensions in jeopardy. Barack Obama's new taxes would be a disaster, yet Jim Martin supports them. But that's no surprise. Martin voted for the largest tax increase in Georgia history, raised the sales tax 32%, even tried to raise property taxes 150%.
In this election, you have a simple choice. I want to cut your taxes. Jim Martin wants to raise your taxes.
Your key to unbelievable savings has arrived.
Announcing Ford Employee Pricing Plus. Now you pay what we pay, plus you'll get additional cash back, like $2,500 on Ford Fusion, $2,500 on Focus, and $2,500 on Mustang. Plus, you can count on Ford credit for the financing you need. Get behind the wheel of a Ford Fusion today and save over $4,300 with Employee Pricing Plus. Visit your neighborhood Ford dealer today.
Stop looking. The stories you'll talk about only on Fox 5.
This week playing Atlanta.
Huge rivalry. It's a division game, so there's extra motivation there.
They know you well. We know them well. They're going to know you. You're going to know them.
It's going to be a tough physical game. We understand the importance of this game.
This is when the season really gets fun.
We're going to a hostile environment.
So it really is, a one-game season to us right now.
They're one of the hottest teams in the NFL right now. We have to accept the challenge.
We have an opportunity to really separate ourselves from them. This is why you play the game right here. For November and December.
All right, guys, let's talk about the NFC South. And this is a huge game, Carolina at Atlanta. Carolina has won 4 straight. They're 8-2 right now. But, Jimmy, Jake Delhomme's really struggled the last couple of weeks.
Well, Terry, you never did really struggle, but if you had, what would you rely on?
You got to get started to struggle, Jimmy. I never got started.
Oh, you never got started. Well, you got to run the football and play defense. You know, you look at Williams and Stewart, over 1,300 yards rushing, 12 touchdowns, plus they're playing defense. If you do that, you can win on the road.
Well, Michael Turner can rush also. They can control the clock. Right now, their passing game's a lot better because to win the games, last week.
All right, he got the dental floss stuck in his throat. That's what happened.
You supposed to jump in and help me right then. I need the floss up that caught my tooth. A Volkswagen.
You're through. You're through, man. You're through.
I'm done for this section.
All right. Next, Howdy.
No, it's just you're in there.
Look, eventually Carolina is going to have to get back to throwing the football. Masoon Muhammad or Steve Smith, they'll have to get that game going. But, boy, when you're rushing for 260 yards a game like the Carolina Panthers are, still a Steeler way of winning. Great defense, ball control offense, and just a few good passes, and I know Delhomme can do that.
The concerning thing is, and Jimmy and I talked about this earlier, the last 3 weeks, Jake has just looked totally out of sync, particularly on third down, just struggling to get that done. And I think since they went to the 4-team division format, the last place team has finished first.
In the NFC South.
Is today the day that we see the tide start to turn in that direction once again?
Let me finish.
Go ahead,
when your explosion plays are your running plays, that's a problem. That's what Carolina has now. Their explosion plays are their running plays.
But earlier it wasn't. Earlier it was their passing.
Exactly.
They'll get back to that.
And you never struggled?
Jimmy, I never got going to struggle.
Oh.
I never had a moment.
All right, guys, as we let Michael try and clear his throat, we're going to bring in Jay Glazer for some late-breaking injury news. And, Jay, it's time to play in or out. And first up, we've got the Giants running back Brandon Jacobs and that stiff knee. In or out?
Brandon Jacobs, he is expected to go 100%.
Plexico Burress scored the Super Bowl-winning TD the last time he played in Arizona. Will he play it all today?
Well, that hamstring's really sore. He is expected to go out and give it a try. He thinks he's going to go. Interestingly, also, if you look at his contract, he has incentives in there still. He can make another $1.25 million. I know he loves to play football, but also got to get himself out there to make the extra cash.
And he's got to earn that fine money that he'll give back later on. Clinton Portis, he's also got a banged-up knee. In or out against Seattle?
Well, actually, in yesterday's walkthrough, he was in there, walked with the first team, not round, he walked with the first team. He's expected to start.
Philly's Brian Westbrook, he's got a bad knee and ankle. In or out?
He is active. He will go.
Cleveland tight end Kellen Winslow in that shoulder injury. In or out?
He barely worked it all this week, Kurt. However, he is in. He's active.
What about Cadillac Williams? He's had a long road back from that knee surgery. Is today the day?
What a great story. Today is the day he finally returns from that knee surgery. He is active.
All right. Thanks a lot, Jay. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. We'll see you on the OT. Hey, we've already had 3 head coaches fired this season, right? And one guy who has trademarked "you're fired" is Frank Caliendo's character today. It's Frank's Cold Hard Picks, presented by Coors Light.
Hey everybody, it's me, the Donald. Now if I didn't know an NFL game could end in a tie, then I'd be known as the Donovan. That's right, Donovan McNabb admitted he was unaware that NFL games could end in a tie. At least he's aware that games could end in a loss. No one wants a tie, except maybe the Lions. At this point, they'd be thrilled with a tie. And on Thanksgiving, they have to play the Titans? Is that... I haven't seen this big a mismatch since Julia Roberts married Lyle Lovett. That game should give tryptophan a run for its money. Hey, even I'm affected by this economy. It's true. Just ask my pilot. I mean, this caviar, it's not even beluga. Get rid of it. The economy has affected 95% of Americans. To give you an idea of the scope of that, that's nearly the amount of people who don't get the NFL Network. You know, it's been a crazy year in the NFL. For the first time ever, a game ended 11-10. Which coincidentally is my bedtime. Turns out it shouldn't even have happened. The referee made a mistake. Again? He's fired. How about this? So the Vikings are about to lose 2 of their 325-pound defensive tackles to suspension. Here's my suggestion on who to pick to fill their absence. Rosie O'Donnell. It never gets old. This season, the Niners, Seahawks, Chargers, and Raiders are all a combined 0-11 on the East Coast. Some of the reasons, the time difference, jet lag, and oh yeah, they all freaking stink. All right, time for some picks. This week I like the Eagles over the Ravens. Give me the Cardinals to beat the Giants. Yes, really. I'll take the Falcons to top the Panthers. And for an upset, I'll go with the Patriots over the Dolphins. Now, before I throw it back, I just want you to listen to something Kurt said on last week's show.
Right now, we get to the 6th member of our crew, NFL insider Jay Glazer.
Whoa, hold the phone, Butterball. You have the order of people on the show all wrong. Let me break it down for you. Now, I'm going to be generous and assume that you're in the top 5. Then it's the Madden guy that's 6th, not Jay. Then it's Pam Oliver. Then it's Jillian. Then it's the stagehand Richie, I think his name is. Then it's the lady that does Howie's pedicures. Then it's Jay at number 11. You're right. It's more like 10.5. Back to you guys.
Strong finish by Frank there.
Oh.
Well, you heard, of course, Frank's pick, so time for us to check out these standings. And will anyone catch Michael Strahan? The TV rookie went 4-0 last week and is now the lead dog officially with 39 points. TB 6 points back with 33, followed by Frank, Howie, and Jimmy. And by the way, something tells me Strahan has such a big lead. Rules change will be in order at some point soon. But for now...
How can you guys do that, man? If I'm winning, I'm winning. Let's play by the rules. You guys just take this beating from a rookie like a man.
It's the way of the TV
Michael,
world. That's what
we're
it
not
is.
Complaining.
Let's play today's games. All right. In the Battle of the Birds, Frank likes the Eagles over the Ravens. Jimmy?
I definitely want a rule change. Baltimore will lose to Philly.
I'm going with Baltimore beating Philly in Baltimore because you want it, Philly.
I'm going to go with Philly.
Michael, I am going to start closing the gap.
No. You worked on this line, didn't you?
Go close that gap. What do you think, buddy?
Yeah, that's real good.
Frank likes the Cardinals to upset the Giants. Jimmy?
No. Arizona will lose to the Giants.
T.O. TB, I looked into my crystal ball, and it told me that the New York Giants will win today.
Crystal the Giants.
I cannot take a bus ride 29 hours to Phoenix and not take the Arizona Cardinals. Cardinals. I'm closing the gap.
All right, Frank says the Falcons pound the Panthers. What about you, Jimmy?
Falcons lose to Carolina, and Carolina goes 9-2.
I think at home, Atlanta will beat them.
I'm going to take the Carolina Panthers.
Hey, Delhomme and the passing offense will get it cranked up today.
Frank's official upset pick, the Patriots taming the Wildcats in Miami.
Who you got quick?
Green Bay starts on a roll. I like Green Bay to win.
I'm picking Green Bay as well. I like Jimmy.
Green Bay.
Green Bay. I'm going with the Colts.
Here's my one pick of the year.
Over the Chargers.
The Detroit Lions today get their first win, beating Tampa Bay.
Kurt, I didn't see your name down there anywhere. So. Did I see Kurt's name down there?
All right, guys, let's get to Fired Up, presented by Burger King. And today, Howie talks about the inconsistent fine system in the National Football League.
Yeah, that's right, Kurt. Prior to the season, the NFL made it very clear to the players and coaches that the game must be played within the framework of the rules. Some have listened, some haven't, and some are confused, including myself. To date, through both suspensions and fines as high as $50,000, players are out of pocket for close to $2 million. Now, everyone agrees with the league's goal of protecting defenseless players, and the union signed off on the process. But to me, some of these fines are excessive, and the process of determining a player's intent or what is or isn't a cheap shot is too subjective. Let me give you an example involving the same team but different quarterbacks and two different outcomes. Week 2, Matt Ryan throws an interception, and Tampa Bay's Albert Mack, who's playing in his first game, blocks Ryan with a helmet-to-helmet hit. The league office suspends him. Okay, fine. Now fast forward to last week, Tampa Bay versus Minnesota. Jeff Garcia releases a pass, and while looking downfield, takes 3 steps after releasing the ball and is decleated by Minnesota's Ray Edwards. Garcia was clearly in a defenseless position, yet the league opts to fine Edwards $25,000 with no suspension, leaving Tampa Bay's players and coaches scratching their heads. I'm not judging one or the other. How this one is suspension worthy and the other isn't. The existing system frustrates players and coaches, a system that I'm sure the union will want to readdress down the road. Drawing a line in the sand in terms of protecting players is something everyone agrees with. But when that line is constantly moving, then the system as it stands, in my opinion, is flawed.
And that's the biggest thing people wonder, as you said, where is the line? Just be consistent.
Yeah.
All right. By the way, have you checked out the King and Cletus the past few weeks? Log on to foxsports.com/BK Fired Up to see all their action. I can see my man TB is all fired up about a tie.
I got a piece
McNabb and the Eagles facing the Ravens. We'll talk about all the early games. Their kickoffs come up next. If you got a late game, we'll come back here to talk more.
Hey, Merry Christmas. Let's brighten, let's sparkle, let's deck every hall.
You're right, we do need a wreath.
Let's holiday this season at Lowe's. Let's build something together.
Lowe's is committed to providing low prices that can't be beat. Guaranteed.
You can't sell yourself for $1, Junior.
Why not?
Because as long as you live in my house, you'll live by my rules. You got it?
I wish I'd never been broiled.
Whopper Jr. for $1. Bringing some attitude to the BK value menu.
This Thanksgiving, it's time to bond.
Shall we?
Find Bond.
I got pulled into a meeting.
I've heard that before.
Quantum of Solace. Rated PG-13. Now playing everywhere.
Ooh, child, things are gonna get easier. Ooh, child, things will get brighter. Someday, yeah.
Wherever you are, whatever it takes. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Okay, so you're driving up to the lake for the weekend when suddenly a big boat pulls up next to you and you notice, hey, it's yours. That's when it occurs to you that while having a lot of towing power is nice, a little control to go with it would be great too. Enter the all-new 09 F-150. It's got the most towing and now an advanced trailer sway control system. And guess what? It's standard. Anchors away, baby. It's not just a new truck. It's a new F-150.
This is an historic day marking the swearing in of America's first female president.
Fox tonight.
And the trees now move!
24 returns with an all-new 2-hour event.
Our involvement could avert a genocide. When are you going home?
I'm not going home. 24 Redemption. Tonight at 8/7 Central on Fox.
Welcome inside Texas Stadium and welcome to this NFC matchup today on Fox. Who is it? The Dallas Cowboys here at Texas Stadium, 6-4 against the San Francisco 49ers, 3-7. And a look at Tony Romo and that broken right pinky, still wearing the splint. The finger is getting better, as is Romo, as are the chances for the Cowboys after their big win a week ago. Hello, everybody. I am Joe Buck. Welcome to the broadcast booth. Troy Aikman and Pam Oliver are coming right up. Well, it is a 3-7 San Francisco team coming off that win at home over the St. Louis Rams. It snapped a 6-game losing streak, so they come in on a little bit of a roll with a quarterback who has been very hot in Shaun Hill. And on the other side, you've got a Dallas Cowboys team. They're 6-4, but coming off a gritty win at Washington. Part of that win is the tight end, Jason Witten, who's standing by with Pam Oliver.
Well, Jason, tell me what the Cowboys have to be careful of in a game like this against a team whose record would indicate they're not very good.
Well, they're playing for a lot. You know, they have a new coach. He's brought a lot of energy to their team. And so this team's, they had a big win last week. So we know they're playing for a lot. He's a motivator, and we got to play big today.
There's urgency and there's being uptight, which applies to the Cowboys.
We got to be urgent. You know, our back's still against the wall. We're no room to relax and let one slip up on us. So I think this team understands it. We got to build off last week's win.
Appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Pam, thanks, and thanks to Jason Witten. Let's talk about it. Urgent. I mean, that was a big win for them in Washington last week.
I think it was a huge win because I think there are players even within the organization that questioned whether they were tough enough to go on the road and win a big divisional game. Now, is this a big game here today? Well, I think that it is. I think it's going to be another game that tells us a lot about what the Cowboys are made of. Can they play to the level that they're capable of playing against a team that they certainly feel that they're much better than?
Have you been impressed with the job Mike Singletary has done in San Francisco?
Well, Mike's an impressive guy, and I think that even when you're trying to change a culture, at some point you still got to win a football game, and that's what they did last week. Now, can they win this ball game today? I think that they can. If Shaun Hill, the quarterback, who's done a nice job, can come out and play the way he did a week ago, they got a real shot at this one.
Shaun Hill is part of our Yellow Book Future Faces look, and we look at these two players, Shaun Hill and Roy Williams on the other side, who was a big part of the Dallas win last week at Washington. To learn more about this week's Yellow Book Future Faces, go to foxsports.com/Future Faces. We get ready for kickoff. It's the NFL on Fox. Coming up right after this.
I, Brian Urlacher, challenge thee to an honor duel.
A what?
An honor duel.
That was me, Brian Urlacher. Then I started using swagger from Old Spice. Who's laughing now? Me.
My name's Steven Suttles. I work at store 182 in Killeen. I really like working there.
on a military base specifically. You know, having a loved one away during the holidays, it really stinks. We got wives coming in. I just need that guitar game. Can you guys just get me the one with the guitar? The difference on being a military base is people aren't just buying gifts for just their husband or their wife. They're buying gifts for their husband or their wife that they haven't seen in a year. They're buying gifts for their husband and their wife that this is the only time they get to spend with them. This is their shot right here. This is gonna be the best Christmas ever.
The stage is set for the biggest show on earth this season. Barclays Premier League is coming right at you. Catch the epic showdowns.
Here we go.
Upsets.
That is stunning.
And world-class stars all season long.
Cracking finish.
The top teams. The top players.
Oh, yes.
Live the drama.
The race is still alive.
The Barclays Premier League all season long on FSC.
This week.
I set the terms. I expect your boss to live up to them.
A special 90-minute event.
You can just outlast him. We'll get to the truth.
FX proudly presents the final unforgettable episode. The Shield series finale. This week, only on FX. You're watching Fox Sports in HD. Presented by DirecTV.
There are a lot of letters that can represent someone's intelligence. IQ, MBA, PhD, but the letters that really say genius to me, MPG. The Toyota Corolla gets 35 miles per gallon highway and tells you when your tire pressure's low. Smart and good looking. Now it'd be nice to find a guy like that.
Nothing compares to the Toyota Corolla, the best-selling car of all time. Visit your local Toyota dealer today and lease a new 09 Toyota Corolla LE for $199 a month. Toyota, moving forward.
Jack is back, and Randy Travis is back-to-back with Jack. An intense situation, followed by an I-Team investigation. Tonight on Fox 5.
I'm Saxby Chambliss, and I approve this message.
Our economy is in turmoil, jobs lost, pensions in jeopardy. Barack Obama's new taxes would be a disaster, yet Jim Martin supports them. But that's no surprise. Martin voted for the largest tax increase in Georgia history, raised the sales tax 32%, even tried to raise property taxes 150%.
In this election, you have a simple choice. I want to cut your taxes. Jim Martin wants to raise your taxes.
Announcing Mazdanomics. In times like these, you need a solution like this. Get 0% APR financing plus 0 monthly payments for 90 days on 509 Mazdas, like Mazda 3 and the totally new Mazda 6. With Mazdanomics, you cash in big. Now get 0.0% APR financing plus 0 monthly payments for 90 days. Hurry, these are the cars, this is the time.
Fox Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
Got a matchup within the matchup. A couple of coaches who are coaching really for their jobs next year. Wade Phillips certainly in a different situation than the guy across the field, but after that terrific start, Phillips has won 7 and lost 7, including the playoff loss against the Giants his last 14 games, and Mike Singletary is the interim head coach, trying to prove he should stay and be the man in San Francisco. Here's Rossum, best kick return guy in the NFC, and he is forced out of bounds at the 28. And here comes Shaun Hill in this offense, directed by Mike Martz. Much better than a year ago statistically. But the main difference is while it's settled down Troy in the offensive line, the guy pulling the trigger, Shaun Hill's been very good in a couple of starts.
Well, he sure has. And coming off of last week's game, you know, his best game certainly as a pro. Normally that would mean something, but with Shaun Hill, he just hasn't played a lot of football.
5 years he didn't throw a pass in the NFL. Finally getting his shot. Play action to Gore. Hill throws and completes out near the 48. Pass is caught by Isaac Bruce for 21 yards and a good start from Shaun Hill in this San Francisco offense.
And whether he's played in 5 games or 30 games, I mean, you watch this throw. This is as good as it gets here. He gets back, sets up. He has pressure and lays the ball perfectly over the outstretched hand of linebacker Brady James and then in front of cornerback Terrence Newman.
For Isaac Bruce, his 11th catch of over 20 yards this season. He can still do it. They marked him at the 49. Another throw from Hill. Instead, he drops it off for Robinson, who falls down. A loss of 2. Brady James is there to tap him down, and Brady James is the leader of this defense. And we always talk, Troy, about the secondary, and we will, and the linebackers, but the difference on this defense right now is that guy in the front, in the middle, Jay Ratliff.
Yeah, Jay Ratliff, a 7th-round pick, and a guy who has really emerged for this defensive unit. Does not have the size that most nose tackles have in a 3-4 scheme, but he doesn't have to come off the field in passing downs either.
2 sacks last week at Washington. Terrence Newman, bad groin and all, is playing. Here is Gore, and there is a loss of 1. And really, Troy, offensively, while we saw that first completion to Isaac Bruce, when you play the 49ers, it's how is Mike Martz going to get Frank Gore the football, and how is the defense going to try and stop him?
Yeah, they've done a pretty good job, really, for the most part this year of getting Frank Gore the ball. Of course, he carries the ball. Rarely does he come off the field, but he's also a much better receiver. He leads the team in receiving this year, as he has in each of the last 2 years.
The crowd is into it on 3rd and 13. Hill throws and caught for a first down, and it's Isaac Bruce who hauled it in, lost his helmet, an 18-yard catch, and another good throw from Hill.
Well, a pretty simple combination route there by the San Francisco 49ers. They run Brian Johnson on a go route. You're going to see him on the outside try to clear out that outside zone, and then they got Isaac Bruce who's working in behind it.
Pretty good whiplash coming down against this field turf as Bruce lost his helmet. First down. No penalty flag on the play as Frank Gore carries it right up the middle, picks up 5. And how about San Francisco, Troy, converting on a 3rd and 13? And Isaac Bruce still doing it. I mean, here's a guy who's going to end up in the Hall of Fame with the stats he's put together in his career.
It's pretty remarkable, really. I mean, when you consider a guy that's as old as he is, and yet he's still being as productive as really what he has at any point in his career. And I know in visiting with Mike Martz, he continually says, hey, I've not noticed any drop-off in his ability from when he was coached there in St. Louis.
Suffered a cut as his head hit the turf on that 18-yard catch, and his helmet came off. Again, no flags. Again, it's Frank Gore, and again he falls down. A loss of 1. Bowen was there to stop him, and quite a bit of blood coming out of that cut on the back of his head, and it happened when his head slammed down on the turf right here.
Yeah, that's pretty unusual. Well, there it is, and it's when the helmet was coming off. And then the back of that helmet is what caused the cut in the back of his head.
3rd down and 6. Hill is in trouble. Chased by Ratliff. Throws it away. DeMarcus Ware was there as well, and with that, Shaun Hill throwing it away at least kept San Francisco in field goal range.
Yeah, well, Shaun Hill does a great job of getting outside the pocket and avoiding the rush, but watch Dominique Ziegler, a first-year player. He's not really even trying to get open as Shaun Hill got outside the pocket. Ziegler lost sight of his quarterback, apparently, because Shaun's just hoping that he gives him something to throw at, and then Ziegler went up the field.
53-yard try by Nedman. No good. And with that, Dallas will take over with great field position at their own 43.
At Southwest Airlines, we don't charge fees on the first check bag or the second. At Southwest Airlines, we don't charge fees on window or aisle seats. At Southwest Airlines, we don't charge fees on curbside check-in. And at Southwest Airlines, we don't charge fees on phone reservations. At Southwest Airlines, we don't believe in charging for things that should be free. So book now at southwest.com. Low fares, no hidden fees.
Whoa. It has no keyboard. And then, did it just click? You've never clicked a screen before. Is that supposed to happen? Is it supposed to feel so right? It feels like a keyboard, just no keys. What kind of mad genius is behind this? Oh, right.
America's largest 3G network introduces the world's first touchscreen BlackBerry. Only from Verizon Wireless.
At a time when others don't, Nissan delivers. 0% financing on many of Nissan's most popular models. Nissan delivers. Attractive lease options on our full line of vehicles. Nissan delivers. A Nissan Altima or Rogue for only $199 a month. Or a brand new Versa for under $10,000. When you need it most, Nissan delivers.
Before the new season begins, 24 returns with a special 2-hour event.
Open the gate!
24 Redemption, tonight at 8/7 Central on Fox.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees.
Dallas Cowboys had a pretty dominant second half at Washington last week. Really dominated the fourth quarter in that win over the Redskins. They are 6-4. Starting at their own 43, and a throw to Patrick Creighton, who tiptoes along the sideline and picks up 6. How about the splint, and how does that affect the throwing of Tony Romo?
Well, you take a look right here at the splint, and you can see how the tip of his pinky is exposed, and that's a good thing because the splint does not run all the way down the length of his pinky. He's able to at least get a feel for the football, and the pinky is a very important finger in throwing the ball because it controls the bottom half of the ball when you drop back to throw. But when he has errant passes, it's predominantly because he's not able then to get the exposed part of the finger on the ball.
Toss to Marion Barber, who picks up nothing over the right side. Takeo Spikes is there for San Francisco, and we look at this offense and you wonder now, with Felix Jones lost for the rest of the year, put on IR, he's going to have surgery, or did, on a torn ligament beneath his left big toe, what his absence will do to the workload of Marion Barber, and if he can hold up.
Well, we've seen since Felix Jones has been down that Marion Barber, he is the workhorse, and I think they would like to get him a little more rest than what we've seen in recent weeks. Tashard Choice, a rookie, will be trying to take some of the runs away from Marion Barber so that he can be afforded some rest.
3rd down and 4. A blitz from San Francisco, and the pass is caught by Jason Witten. So a conversion on 3rd and 4 and a 12-yard completion to Jason Witten for a Dallas first down.
Yeah, that was one of those throws like we saw last week that looked like it came out of Tony's hand. A little awkward. You see the throw there, and it comes out wobbling, and it's not where Jason Witten was expecting the ball to be thrown, as you can tell. And I know watching Tony Romo throw the ball on Friday at practice, I didn't see any of those. The 2 interceptions that he had last week in that game against the Redskins, I thought were a direct result of the ball slipping out of his hand. Didn't anticipate seeing any of that today.
Here is Marion Barber, and Barber picks up 4. Let's go for a game break. Here's Kurt.
Minnesota at Jacksonville. This is Chester Taylor with a 3-yard score. It's 14-0 because Jacksonville has touched the ball twice, fumbled both times, including the first play from scrimmage of the game, which was returned all the way for a score by the Viking defense. Back to Joe, Troy, and Pam.
All right, Kurt. So Jacksonville continues to slide away, and the Vikings would love to get that road win, as you've got 3 teams at the top of the North in the NFC tied at 5-5. One of them, the Chicago Bears, up 7-zip at St. Louis, and Romo throws it away. Let's take a look at this defense for San Francisco. Comes in ranked 21st in the NFL, and you tell me, is it a 3-4? Is it a 4-3? What is it?
Well, a big part of what the 49ers do defensively is try to confuse the offense. And with that, Joe, they will sometimes come out and line up with 4 down. They'll sometimes come out in a 3-4 set. But to the defensive players, it's all the same. It's not a 2-gap traditional 3-4 scheme when they're in that 3-4 defense. They're playing 1 gap, and for the defense, it doesn't change their responsibilities.
3rd down and 6. Romo, a quick throw, and Terrell Owens wasn't ready for it. His head was not around. The throw was behind him, had some zip on it. And it's incomplete, 4th down.
Yeah, and that's an area for San Francisco that they have struggled. They had a couple of interceptions last week, but overall this year they've not done a good job of catching the ball, and that was a great opportunity for them there. Now, I'm a little surprised, as I said, with Tony in the throws that he has made here on this first possession. A couple of those getting away from him, just like that last one did.
Cowboys elect to pass on a 55-yard field goal try, and Paulescu hits it into the end zone. So it's only a net of 17 yards in field position as the 49ers get it for the 2nd time. No score.
A lot of choices, huh?
Tell me about it.
Because you want a beer that's not too heavy.
Yeah?
But you don't want to compromise on taste, so.
No, I don't.
Just want that perfect balance.
Budweiser. Oh, thanks, man. You know, they ought to pay you.
Steer to help.
You look so fine that I really want to make you mine.
Every tailgate you stock up for. Every channel you order. Every hat, jersey, and jacket you collect. Visa purchases between now and December 31st give you a chance to win trips to Super Bowl 43, the 2009 NFL Pro Bowl, and the 2009 NFL playoff game. Visa. For game day, it's the way to go.
At a time when others don't, Nissan delivers. 0% financing on many of Nissan's most popular models. Nissan delivers. Attractive lease options on our full line of vehicles. Nissan delivers. A Nissan Altima or Rogue for only $199 a month. Or a brand new Versa for under $10,000. When you need it most, Nissan delivers.
Can a hallucination
He sees me.
kill?
No!
Fringe, all new Tuesday after House on Fox.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by Budweiser. Reach for the perfect balance of flavor and refreshment. Budweiser, the great American lager.
Okay, here we go.
Starting at their own 20 this time. The 49ers, 2nd possession, no score. Here in Dallas. And Frank Gore bounces off a couple of tacklers and a nice gain of 7 on 1st down. Let's go down to Pam Oliver.
Well, Joe, Niners receiver Isaac Bruce has been taken into the locker room. Bruce suffered a laceration to the back of his head. From what I was able to see, it did not look like a very deep cut. And as I speak, Isaac Bruce is returning to the field. Back to you.
And they need him. This is a 49ers receiving core that's extremely thin on the outside. Isaac Bruce, a playful moment down on the sideline as Frank Gore on 2nd and 3 picks up a 1st down as he gets 4. And you can see they've stitched that up. The Dallas Stars trainer must have come in to stitch him up, and he's ready to go back to work.
I couldn't tell if there was actually stitches that they use. Sometimes they call those clear pieces of tape that you could see steri strips, which is something that's used instead of actually having to go in there and use the traditional stitches that is oftentimes used. As Pam reported, it did not appear like it was a very deep cut.
No tears in his eyes, so probably the steri strips. As Hill is in a ton of trouble somehow in that mess of bodies finds Gore, and Frank Gore picks up 6 before he's brought down by Zach Thomas.
You know, a lot of discussion this week, Joe, about Shaun Hill and whether or not he's a good practice player. Apparently, when they put in the installation of the game plan on Wednesdays, and he has struggled. He struggles on Wednesdays. It sounds like he struggles on Thursdays and Fridays as well. And everyone's been a little surprised he's been able to play, you know, like he has. I asked him, some guys just aren't good practice players. Jake Delhomme's one of those guys in the league now. And he said, I don't even know if I'm a good practice player. I've been running scout team the whole time I've been in the NFL.
Bruce back on the field on 2nd and 4, and Jay Ratliff was a little anxious.
Encroachment. Defense number 90. 5-yard penalty. The enforcement results in a first down.
And he was joking when you talk about Shaun Hill saying, I don't know if I'm a good practice player. I've been running scout team. But it does point out that here's a player who's in his 7th year. He's had just a little taste of the NFL and what it's like to be quarterback. And the taste that he's had, he's played very well.
He sure has. And, you know, when he's been given his opportunities, going back to last year and then, of course, this year, did not play great in the Arizona game, but he had his team in a position to win that game.
On first down, Isaac Bruce back onto the field and back into the game, and his 3rd catch of this first quarter. And it depends on the spot as to whether it's a first down or not.
It was a good route by Isaac Bruce. The ball gets away from Shaun Hill and leads him up the field. And Anthony Henry, with a little better coverage, would have been able to make a play on that ball. But a nice job by Isaac Bruce. You talked about how much this offense needs him on the field. Great example of it on that play.
It makes me think of what Mike Martz told us about these cornerbacks of the Dallas Cowboys. Hill, a quick throw. Here is Brian Johnson. He's down inside the 40. Mike Martz described the corners as soft. And I don't think he was talking about toughness as much as he was talking about the way they play. And when he was in Detroit, we saw matchups against the Dallas Cowboys where his team played well. And so far, the coverage has been soft by the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, and it was pretty clear that Mike Martz doesn't have a great deal of respect for some of these defensive backs that the Cowboys employ. And with Terrence Newman, who re-injured his groin in practice this week, I would expect them to maybe take a shot at him real soon.
On first down, Hill steps into it, gets hit. Ball is up for grabs, and it's caught down inside the 5 by Isaac Bruce. What a first quarter, a 34-yard reception on a ball that was just floating up in the air.
Well, that was the shot on Terrence Newman that they wanted to take. And as you said, the ball gets away from Shaun Hill because he's hit as soon as he's trying to step into the throw. And when a ball goes up like that, it usually benefits the receiver because he has an opportunity then to drive back on the ball, whereas the defensive player is just guarding against the receiver running past him.
1st and goal. Hill rolls right back of the end zone, and it's out of the reach of Brian Johnson.
Pass intended for number 82, Brian Johnson.
How about Isaac Bruce, who has put together a first quarter of 4 catches, 81 yards, and that's a big reason why Shaun Hill has started 7 for 9.
Well, Shaun Hill, when you get your opportunity, and they've got some younger players, you know, Josh Morgan, who's not active, he's a rookie and a guy who they think is going to be very special. But as a quarterback that is inexperienced, it's nice when you've got a 15-year veteran at the wideout position like they have with Bruce.
Handoff is to Gore. Nowhere to go. Dragged down by Ware, a loss of 1.
This is an area down here where the 49ers have really struggled, especially running the football. And you know, all we got to do is think back to that Arizona game when they tried running it in to win, and they were unable to do that. And they're not real good in moving people off the line of scrimmage. And they have had a couple of decent runs with Frank Gore, primarily because he's made a few people miss. But their success here in this first quarter has all come through the air.
3rd down and goal. Timeout, San Francisco. A chance to talk about it, a chance for the first points of this game for the 49ers.
At a time when others don't, Nissan delivers. 0% financing on many of Nissan's most popular models. Nissan delivers. Attractive lease options on our full line of vehicles. Nissan delivers. A Nissan Altima or Rogue for only $199 a month. Or a brand new Versa for under $10,000. When you need it most, Nissan delivers.
Ooh, child, things are gonna get easier. Ooh, child, things will get brighter. Someday, yeah.
Wherever you are, whatever it takes. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
The best gifts ever.
This year, a Radio Shack associate suggested a GPS receiver for my husband.
Let's find Santa.
Okay.
Later, the kids tried to find Santa with it. And amazingly, it took us to this small town where we found a great little diner.
Wasn't Christmas fun? Yeah.
Hot chocolate, kids.
The kids will never forget it. And it all began with the help I got at Radio Shack.
Today's Game on Fox is sponsored by Nissan, who invites you to shift the way you move through the world. By Radio Shack. Get the most from your electronics at Radio Shack, where you don't just buy stuff, you do stuff. And by State Farm, proud sponsor of the NFL and the best day of the week.
3rd and goal. And I think down here, Joe, is where you've got to be able to utilize a guy like Vernon Davis and his size. Johnson, contact, no flag. Anthony Henry was on his back, and no penalty flag is thrown. And Shaun Hill can't believe it, and neither can I.
Yeah, and even having said that, it looked like if Shaun Hill gets this ball down on the body of Johnson, it's a pretty easy completion, and you can tell, yeah, no doubt that Anthony Henry was all over Johnson before the ball arrived. Running the slant route, he's got his left arm draped over him and then his right arm over the top of his right shoulder, and really should have been a pretty easy call for the officials.
Boy, a missed call to say the least, and instead of 1st and goal at the 1, Henry gets away with one and a 23-yard field goal by Nedney. Shaun Hill cannot believe it. 3-0 49ers.
At a time when others don't, Nissan delivers. 0% financing on many of Nissan's most popular models. Nissan delivers. Attractive lease options on our full line of vehicles. Nissan delivers. A Nissan Altima or Rogue for only $199 a month. Or a brand new Versa for under $10,000. When you need it most, Nissan delivers.
My mother used to say, always keep your heart open. It's the only way to give and receive love. That's the inspiration behind my Open Hearts collection at Kay Jewelers. I worked with Kay because as the #1 jewelry store in America, they've brought more hearts together than, well, just about anyone. My wish is that my open heart design becomes a universal symbol of hope and love. Because if your heart is open, love will always find its way in.
On DVD today, Ben Stiller, Jack Black, and Robert Downey Jr. star in the most outrageous comedy of the year.
I don't believe you people.
What do you mean, you people?
What do you mean, you people?
Tropic Thunder. Get what you couldn't see in theaters on DVD today.
Our embassy in Sangala just got word of an imminent coup.
Be careful, Madam President. Fox tonight.
Jack, don't let them take my kids.
All the action, suspense, and thrills of a season.
It is his country, but I'm paying for it.
In one 2-hour event.
The trees out, move!
Kiefer Sutherland returns.
We are talking about innocent children. Open the gate!
24 Redemption. Tonight at 8/7 Central on Fox.
There's the scoring drive. It's been a good start for the 49ers and Shaun Hill, and in particular Isaac Bruce.
Yeah, good start, but boy, that's tough when you drive the ball as well as they did on that last drive, and then you only have 3 points to show for it, especially considering they were first and goal from the 4 prior to having to settle for the field goal.
49ers already have 107 yards of offense. Here's Isaiah Stanback. And the former collegiate quarterback is out to the 23. That's it. Brown on the tackle. 22-yard return, and that's where Romo and company will go to work.
Can you believe that we can text, email, surf the internet, even update your Facebook status right from the palm of your hand? At Sprint, we want everyone to experience all of the incredible things a 3G phone can do on a big 3G network. The wireless revolution continues. Come join us.
Introducing the Samsung Rant. For $49.99, it's the fully loaded 3G phone for everyone. Only from Sprint, only on the Now Network.
I'm Senior Airman Eric Capuano with the United States Air Force. One of my most significant moments overseas is when I have Army personnel come up to me in the aircraft hangar, and they come over and shake my hand, and they say, "Are you with Predator?" And I say, "Well, yeah." They say, "Well, I was just out on a combat patrol, and a Predator saved my life." We got a call in on the radio saying there was an ambush coming in, and because of that intel, we were able to get out of there before things got bad. This is going to save someone's life today.
See what you can do at airforce.com.
When all you want is football, there's a place that has it all. NFL Network's Thursday Night Football, Cardinals-Eagles.
The Giants battle the Cardinals. Fox NFL Sunday doubleheader action continues later today.
This is the first half of a long day of football for you on Fox. Good second half of this doubleheader coming up. We'll talk about in a second as Tony Romo starts at his own 24. And a false start.
False start. Offense number 75. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
That's Colombo. And they'll start at their own 19. Second half of the doubleheader is that matchup out in the desert. And we have Eli Manning and the Giants, Troy, returning to the spot where they won Super Bowl 42. They're the other two games, but that's the marquee one and maybe two of the hotter teams in the conference.
Well, no doubt, and I think it's a chance for Arizona to really validate what they've done up to this point. And I'll be honest with you, if they are able to win this ball game, I think that Kurt Warner goes on to win the league MVP.
Here is Romo rolling out and throwing. Caught but out of bounds was Terrell Owens. Let's go back to that. Kurt Warner has won 2 MVPs. The guy's 37. He's completing passes at 70%. He's got a good receiving core. He legitimately could be the MVP.
Well, yes, and I'm not saying that he shouldn't be even if they lose this ball game. I just know how the votes go. I mean, typically you're looking at a team that is going to be on a nice run and going to go deep into the playoffs, and they certainly can regardless of what happens in this. But I think if he's able to win against a team that everyone knows is really good, as much as we all think of him already, I think that only gets elevated.
And you tend to get a few more votes as Marion Barber carries it back to the original line of scrimmage. You tend to get a few more votes when you beat a New York team.
Yeah, that doesn't hurt anything. And you know, that game, I'm looking forward to watching it. And when you consider the fact that the Giants is the best rushing team in the NFL going up against one of the most explosive passing games in the NFL, it's a will of philosophy. And you know, last week I thought was a tremendous win for New York in the way that they beat Baltimore and went through that great defensive unit of theirs.
You can see in that playoff picture from Philadelphia on up. Underneath the Giants, it is tight in the NFC. 3rd and 10. Romo's going to flip it deep for Terrell Owens, and nothing is there. This has been a much better first quarter for the San Francisco 49ers and the Cowboys, and Dallas offensively is still trying to get it in gear.
I'll tell you, it was a nice defensive series there for San Francisco here on 3rd and long, and they do a good job of covering up all the playmakers, and that's saying something, because as we all know, Dallas has a lot of them, but they're mixing coverages up. At times they're playing man-to-man, one-on-one. That time knowing that they had to go 10 yards for the first down, they played coverage and did a good job of it.
Here is Rossum, a chance for a return. Boy, he's good. Out to midfield. How about Dallas? 2 possessions, 25 yards of offense so far. For the 49ers, they are hoping that Shaun Hill can solidify a position that from 79 to 2003 was handled very well by the trio of Montana, Young, and Garcia. And you have to add Garcia in there because of how effective he was with San Francisco. Since that group, since 2004, 8 different starting quarterbacks, the win percentage 284 and a passer rating of 68 between Rattay, Dorsey, Alex Smith, Cody Pickett, Trent Dilfer, Shaun Hill, Chris Winkie, and JT O'Sullivan. Play action from Hill, looking for the tight end, Vernon Davis, out of bounds, setting up 1st and goal at the 4.
Well, that was the matchup that Mike Martz was hoping for. He felt coming into this game that they could take advantage of the coverage skills, or lack thereof, of this Dallas defense. Vernon Davis, who has not had a big impact on this offense, they get him one-on-one with Davis. He goes right by him, and a perfectly laid ball by Shaun Hill. I tell you, that's a good job for a big guy. A tight end, I understand, but to be running to the corner like that and to be able to locate the football over his head and bring that in, that's a ball that he has struggled with.
Second straight possession with a 1st and goal from the 4. This one is for Johnson and incomplete. And again, they're working on Anthony Henry. Last time they had 1st and goal from the 4. They went incomplete pass, a run of -1 from Gore, and then the incompletion on what we thought should have been pass interference in the end zone, and Henry's being pretty physical here with Brian Johnson.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, Joe, if the 49ers are unable to punch it in here, I really think that they're going to have a hard time keeping up with Dallas, because I think it's going to be such an emotional letdown. You can't get down here in this area and not come away with 7 points.
Handoff is to Gore. It's happening again. Frank Gore does nothing, gets back to the line of scrimmage, and Jay Ratliff was the first guy there to meet him.
Well, that's really the problem right now for San Francisco offensively. You know, they can move the football, but they just don't have the horses up front to create any type of push. And we've seen it already in this ball game. We've seen it in other games. And that's difficult when you get down here around the 5-yard line, the 4-yard line, and you're trying to throw the ball and you can't run the ball. Typically from this area of the field, teams that score are the teams that can run the ball.
3rd and goal. Empty backfield. Hill in trouble and throws behind his intended receiver Johnson, and Hill ends up on his back.
Hey, Jay Ratliff coming off a huge game last week, really coming off a huge year. He's been a real dominant figure there in the middle. He goes right by Eric Heitman. He'll break down in protection. There's never a time when you turn the nose tackle loose in pass protection.
Well, you just said it. And again, and Mike Martz down at the end of his tenure with St. Louis, they were a terrible red zone team. Not able to run it down near the end zone, and they have paid a price. They did in the desert at Arizona. And now, as the first quarter expires, 154 yards of offense, but only 6 points for the 49ers, who came close on that to Vernon Davis. Frustrated 49er sideline.
Well, are you going to go for it?
This is crazy. This is crazy. This is crazy.
No, crazy is not connecting your new flat screen to DirecTV. Clark switched, and now he gets all his favorite channels in HD.
I'm in deep.
A man with that much HD is such a turn on.
Get the most TV for the money, and now lock in your price until 2010. Call 1-800-DIRECTV.
Fox Tuesday, a gunman takes the hospital hostage. One mistake, everyone dies.
Everything okay in there? It's not like I got a gun to my head.
House, viewer discretion advised. An all-new extended episode, Tuesday on Fox.
You're watching Fox NFL Sunday.
The year-end sell-a-thon is on, and the clock is ticking. Now through the end of the year, you can get up to $8,500 cash allowance on 2008 models. Plus, get a no extra charge DVD on select Dodge Grand Caravan models. And we have hundreds of financing options available. Hurry into your local Dodge dealer to get up to $8,500 in combined cash allowance on Ram 1500. The year-end sell-a-thon is on at your Dodge dealer, so hurry in before 2008 is over.
Sometimes you just need to switch out a player. So I called up Scanner Energy. In a few minutes, they helped me analyze my natural gas plan and set me up with a great rate. I even saved $50. It was a snap.
Sign up with Scanner Energy for your $50 savings.
Now, I'm a huge fan.
Scanner Energy. It's easy service, easy savings, and an easy $50. Call 1-877-SCANNER-11.
Touchdown! Spike the ball.
It's the season for giving, so why not give the very best? Like the exhilarating Infiniti G Sedan, or the bold Infiniti FX. They're gifts you can enjoy every day of the year. Visit the Infiniti Limited Engagement Winter Event now to take advantage of our best offers of the year. Lease an Infiniti G Sedan for $349 per month or get 0% APR financing.
All three drives for San Francisco have ended up in Dallas territory. They have 6 points. They've had goal to goal from the 4. They've run 6 plays and lost a total of 1 yard. Here's Skandrick returning the kick, and he gets knocked sideways before he gets to the 25. Let's go down to Pam Oliver.
Well, Joe, just a medical update on the Cowboys' sensational rookie running back, Felix Jones. Jones had surgery to repair a torn ligament in his left toe on Saturday. Jerry Jones said the surgery went very well, and as we speak, Felix Jones is on his way back. Jerry Jones said he would not have the need, though, to go out and sign another running back. He's very confident in Tashard's choice to be Marion Barber's primary backup.
All right, Pam, thank you. And because Marion Barber runs every run like it's his last in the NFL, with everything he gives week after week, run after run, that's why they drafted Felix Jones, to take some of the heat off Marion Barber, but it's all back on him again. Play action from Romo, who has all day and goes deep to Witten, and Witten out of bounds. That ball took forever to get there, and Jason Witten waiting on it, couldn't get both feet in.
Yeah, he's having more problems throwing the football today, Joe, than what he had last week against Washington. This was a ball that just hung in the air. You see his right heel come down on the sideline. Good call there by the official. But we've seen a number of balls. In fact, I'm not sure I've seen a ball yet that's come out well for Tony Romo.
Romo saying throw the challenge flag. That would be a ridiculous challenge.
That's somebody in the booth isn't, for the Cowboys that is, isn't doing their job if Wade Phillips throws this flag.
Meanwhile, they're going to have to call a timeout because the play clock, and they throw the flag. This is very poor.
Well, then you wonder if there's even somebody up there communicating with them. Obviously there is.
Again, let's look at it as the catch. Left foot down, right foot on the line, heel on the line. I mean, that's about as clear a look as you're going to get. And Tony Romo is begging him to throw the flag. Romo can't see that, and yet Wade Phillips throws it. Ridiculous.
Life is about the small things. All the things we never think about, yet desperately depend on. It's the things that make a Camry a Camry.
Rated T for Teen.
Tonight's tag team partners, Triple H and John Cena. The Big Show, Hornswoggle,
I can't decide.
Create the ultimate tag team in SmackDown vs. Raw. Introducing all new tag team gameplay with high-impact moves and finishers. WWE SmackDown vs. Raw 2009. Alone you're great. Together you're unstoppable.
Whoa, we're good.
Man, orders are coming in from all over the country.
I know, and thanks to FedEx Freight, we've been able to keep up.
You know, we should use FedEx Express to ship internationally.
Well, they fly more cargo around the world than anyone else.
Yeah, you should always use FedEx. Isn't that like a rule?
Yeah, well, there's always an exception that proves the rule, though. Like, my dad and my granddad were bald, but I still have a full head of hair.
FedEx, serving over 220 countries and territories.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by Toyota, moving forward. By Yellow Book. To learn more about this week's Yellow Book Future Faces, go to foxsports.com/Future Faces. By the all-new SmackDown vs. Raw 2009 video game. Available now wherever video games are sold. And by Miller Lite. When it's game time, reach for the original. Miller Lite. Great taste, less filling.
We'll take another look at what the Cowboys are challenging. And again, in the course of a normal step, that's the rule. The toes come down, then the heel comes down on the line. The opposite, if he's tapping his toes going the other way, then that's a catch. This is not a catch. We'll get a call from Mike Carey.
After review, the receiver had control of the ball, his left foot down, then his right foot down in a natural step, hit out of bounds, incomplete pass. The ruling on the field is correct. Dallas is charged with their first team timeout.
Witten knew it. He was the last guy that was arguing to throw the flag, I believe, but Romo was looking into the face of Wade Phillips, and as you said, somebody up in the booth for the Dallas Cowboys has got to say, Wade, do not throw the flag.
Well, and that's my question, Joe, is what was the advice up in the booth? I mean, was he going purely off of Tony Romo saying challenge the call? I mean, because as you said, Tony can't see where Jason Witten's feet were on the sidelines when he was coming down. The official had a great look at it, but it was pretty obvious. I mean, in first look, we saw that, well, that's an incomplete pass and a good call by the official. So now you just wasted a challenge and you just wasted a timeout.
Yeah, and I think the challenge is probably bigger than the timeout. We'll wait and see. 14:47 left in the half. 6-0 49ers on top. We'll have a game break after this play. 2nd and 10, and a handoff is to Marion Barber, and he is hit hard by Manny Lawson. A gain of 2. Let's go to Kurt for a game break.
Jets in a big game against the Tennessee Titans. Tennessee undefeated and trying to hold on to it, but Thomas Jones takes the pass from Brett Favre in from 10 yards out, and right now New York is up by 7 in the second quarter. Back to Joe, Troy, and Penn.
All right, Kurt, you look at the numbers for Brett Favre. 10 of 12, 107 yards, a touchdown. The perfection may end today, and Tennessee banged up in their secondary. A lot of the depth is not there for Jeff Fisher's crew. Cowboys have only 1 first down in this game. Romo trying to change that, and he hits T.O. in stride. Terrell Owens, touchdown. There is a flag thrown way back at the 45-yard line.
Illegal contact. Defense number 22 is declined. Score is good.
How about that, Troy? After a series of bad throws from Romo, this one had something on it.
Well, and Tony Romo does a good job of avoiding the pass rush. They were able to get a guy loose on him, but they are unable to get him to the ground, and he steps up. And because of good protection there inside, the double move, there's the contact that was called on Nate Clemens. And Romo's able to find Terrell Owens for the touchdown.
I bet our cameras can find Terrell Owens, and I bet he's smiling. Is he happy? Is he happy?
Doesn't look like it. Not
Smile,
yet.
T.O. Smile. Call Dion. We need a T.O. smile. 75 yards. And just like that, the Cowboys lead 7-6.
Interception. The commission of the More Taste League
Bingo. You fellows have gotten your hands on some non-sanctioned light beer?
There was a big, shiny display.
The league only recognizes light beer with more taste and the scant 3.2 grams of carbs. That's the yin and the yang, the bottom, the bing of light beer. Yes.
So which beers are league approved?
Beer, singular, Miller Lite.
Commission's wise.
Amen!
The official beer of the More Taste League. Miller Lite. Great taste, less filling.
Unstoppable. Eli Manning is. So is his Citizen Echo Drive watch. Fueled by light, it never needs a battery. It's unstoppable, just like the people who wear it.
This place is great.
Oh, see what I see? Yeah, we're gonna send her a plate of bacon.
Bacon? It's a little too aggressive. Let's send her a cheese omelet.
No, an English muffin. It's more proper.
What about a hot cinnamon roll?
Cinnamon roll? Well, that's something you send your sister. I'm gonna send her some bacon.
Compliments of those guys. Oh, yogurt.
Check out the hot bar in town, the Holiday Inn Express Hot Breakfast Bar.
See, you guys don't know anything about women.
Many half-ton V8s get around the same miles per gallon, but ours puts out 30 more horsepower. Hello, beautiful. Available on the full-size Tundra, the truck that's changing it all. Takes just 3 years for many half-tons to burn through this much tranny fluid. Ours lasts longer, so you go through a whole lot less. Looks like you got some time to kill. Available on the full-size Tundra, the truck that's changing it all.
Well, I think this game just flipped the other way. Longest play of the season for Dallas, and on that 75-yard touchdown, the Dallas Cowboys are now leading by a point, even though for the most part they've been thoroughly outplayed. That's Polk on the tackle of Allen Rossum, and now the Cowboys are flying around. Well, welcome inside our broadcast booth. Football's a funny game. You played a lot of years down there in that field, and like that, I mean, San Francisco now is on the short end of the scoreboard.
Well, I think T.O. was onto something. You know, good things do happen when the ball's in his hand.
Evidently.
So I would say that, you know, it's a great example of just how explosive this Cowboy team can be. The 49ers defensively had really shut them down. I mean, they were doing a great job, and then one play later on 3rd and long, all of a sudden the Cowboys now have a 7-6 lead, which goes back to the chances that the 49ers had down in the red zone, unable to come away with touchdowns. You know, realistically, this game should probably be 14-7 49ers.
Here is Gore. Gore picks up 2. Tank Johnson on the tackle, and there's one thing that people have never doubted, and that is the strength of Terrell Owens. I mean, he's just shredded physically, but yeah, with the football in his hands, what he does is maybe the most impressive part of his game.
Well, I always equate it to like trying to get out there in an open field and tackle a quarter horse. You know, I mean, that's about what he is. He's just a big physical guy. I mean, you can say a lot of things about Terrell, not all of it positive, but you can't question his work ethic and you can't question his strength.
Here's Hill going down in the arms of Spencer. And on one play, this Dallas Cowboys team is feeding. They have the life, a loss of 9 on the sack of Shaun Hill.
Yeah, you can see Anthony Spencer and him coming back and healthy now, and what he can help this defense in being able to rush the passer. He helps them in a lot of ways. One, he's a pretty good player, but then they're also able to rest a guy like Greg Ellis a little bit more than what they were able to earlier in the year. And you're right, Joe. I mean, this Dallas team was kind of sleepwalking there through that first quarter, and now the crowd's into it. The defense is responding to what the offense just did. And
now a 3rd and 17, and Hill has nowhere to go except down, and another sack for DeMarcus Ware. Mike Martz's offense was just overwhelmed.
Yeah, that was more a coverage sack than anything else. It's going to go down as a sack for DeMarcus Ware, but he needs to thank these defensive backs for the job that they did, because he's trying to go to Brian Johnson here on the outside. But what you didn't see was there was a safety over the top. A quarterback with a little more experience probably would have gotten off of him much sooner than what Hill did.
And this one is blocked out of the back of the end zone for a safety. Carlos Polk. special teams of the Dallas Cowboys, and Carlos Polk just took it upon himself his last two chances, covering on the kickoff and tackling Allen Rossum, and then getting into the face of Andy Lee and blocking it for a safety. It's 9-6 Dallas.
I tried to do handstands for you. I tried to do headstands for you. Every time I fell on you, yeah. Every time I fell for you.
Michelob's recipe, we're going back 111 years. We have records from way back. It was draft only for almost 70 years of its existence. People would come from miles around to taste this wonderful beer. We're rooted in history, but it's also really exciting today to be trying new recipes and trying new things. We've got the Michelob Porter, Pale Ale, Bavarian Wheat. When everything comes into balance and that recipe is just right, we get really excited.
There's a family behind the Michelob family of beers. Michelob, crafting a better beer.
Unstoppable. Eli Manning is. So is his Citizen Echo Drive watch. Fueled by light, it never needs a battery. It's unstoppable, just like the people who wear it.
They are the richest people in America.
I think I bought the first airplane when I was 18.
But for 1 week, they'll live and work for minimum wages and keep their identity hidden. Their mission, to share their wealth with those they find worthy.
I wasn't honest with you. I'm actually a millionaire.
We've been lying to you all week.
Accept this check from us.
This is so much beyond any dream that we ever had.
Who will be chosen by the secret millionaire? Premiering December 3rd on Fox.
Dallas about to get the ball back as Lee will kick it. Patrick Creighton is now the one waiting deep. It's another phase of the game that the Cowboys lost when Felix Jones was lost for the year. Good kick return. Creighton from inside the 20 runs into his own man and goes down at the 31.
We take a look at the block, and you're going to see Michael Robinson. He's the personal protector, number 24, and he's in a good position there to be able to pick up Polk, who comes through that hole. You can see him right here. He's just got a clear shot. And obviously there was something in film study that the Cowboys looked at and studied and said, hey, maybe we can take advantage of this part of the line for this 49er punt team.
For the Cowboys, their first blocked punt since December of 2002. Also against San Francisco, here is Marion Barber, and there is a penalty flag coming in on a first down carry.
Holding, offense, number 70, 10-yard penalty, still first down.
It's big Leonard Davis, the starting right guard.
Well, this offensive line, I know in visiting with offensive coordinator Jason Garrett, one of the things that he thought that they kind of got away from, especially during that period when Tony Romo was not playing, was they were not being as physical up front. And he even felt that maybe as coaches, they weren't doing a good enough job of allowing those guys to be physical. When you've got someone like Leonard Davis and Andre Girard at center, you know, those are the kind of guys that can come off the ball and mash people.
First and 20 now. Romo throws, and it's dropped by Terrell Owens. Second down and 20 as Owens adds a drop. Tonight on Fox, Hope has a fighting chance because finally Jack is back in an all-new 2-hour television event, 24 Redemption tonight. 8 Eastern, 7 Central right here, only on Fox. Viewer discretion is advised. I had a chance to get an advanced screening of that. Troy, I know you're a big 24 fan. It is outstanding with Robert Carlyle, John Voight. That's tonight, and that's a drop by Terrell Owens.
Yeah, and Nate Clemens, it's amazing how when you have a guy run by you, you get a little more respect. Playing him pretty soft out there.
Second and 20. Romo's in trouble now. And throws in the direction of Marion Barber, who was shoved by Takeo Spikes, and now they throw a late flag. And the official who threw it now wants to talk to the other officials. Takeo Spikes gave Marion Barber a shove as the ball got there.
Yeah, Marion Barber was behind the line of scrimmage. And with Romo, then the question's going to be with him moving around in the pocket. You know, are you capable then as a defender to make that kind of contact? I believe that you can.
I'm certain that's what the conversation is about.
But I think that in watching that play, I mean, it was a great illustration of Tony Romo and how he's able to avoid the pass rush, and that's a big reason why he helps this offensive line. Doesn't have the sacks that Brad Johnson had while he was playing.
The line of scrimmage was the 21. Let's take a look and see where this happened. Did it happen beyond the line of scrimmage? And I think you could make the case it happens around the 22-yard line, beyond the line of scrimmage, and so now we'll get the call.
There's no foul for defensive pass interference. The action happened within the yard of the line of scrimmage. Third down.
I think that's a good call. Within a yard of the line of scrimmage, I would say that was right in that window.
That, and when you get a quarterback who's moving around within the pocket, you know, and avoiding a pass rush, there's a lot of rules that go out the window as far as pass holding or pass interference.
So now third down and 20. And 92 of the pass yards. The 75 came on that completion to Terrell Owens for the touchdown. Then the safety followed. And now third and 20. Romo steps up and drops it off to Marion Barber. Has to go a long way. Strickland knocks him down. Shy of the 30 at the 29-yard line, a gain of only 8. And Sam Paulescu will come on and punt for Dallas as they lead it by 3. Alan Rossum is waiting for the punt.
Yeah, I was going to say, Joe, another great defensive series there for San Francisco, and you know they've done a nice job. And I know when you come into a game like this and you look at Dallas offensively, you say, wow, how is San Francisco going to hold up? They've done that with the exception of one big play.
Paulescu hits a good one, and Rossum injured himself. This ball is down inside the 5 as Watkins kneels on it at the 1. But something happened to Rossum when he was going to get that punt.
What happened early, too, when the ball was in the air, he went down immediately.
Meanwhile, the 49ers will be backed up at their own 1 as they check on Alan Rossum.
Life is about the small things. All the things we never think about, yet desperately depend on. It's the things that make a Camry a Camry.
She had a terrible cold.
Terrible. I was grinding my teeth. I typed in stomach fat. TV.
Poison ivy.
I'm always on WebMD.
WebMD has information that used to be scattered in millions of places, all in one place.
Migraine.
Rheumatoid arthritis.
Healthy aging.
I get tips on skincare, beauty, nutrition.
It's a Bible to most mothers.
I trust WebMD because my doctors trust WebMD.
You find these random sites and you end up wasting a lot of time.
I don't need a million answers. I just want the good ones.
WebMD. Better information, better health.
Dinner is served. Whoa, look at you. You're stunning. Ooh, you have a tag showing.
We're having a big sale.
Nice.
Circuit City's 4-day sale is happening now. Come in and save on this 40-inch Samsung 1080p LCD, just $799.99. Plus, use your Circuit City card and pay no interest till 2011, store-wide, on all purchases $499 and up. Circuit City. We'll hook you up with gifts to love.
Pepper in some fun with Chili's to go.
Thanks for calling Chili's.
Trust Chili's to go to get your order right and right on time. We even give you an exact time so you can pick it up at its fresh, hot, and delicious best. It's just what you'd expect from Chili's to go.
It turns into a 70-yard punt for Paulescu as Rossum went down right there, and then Patrick Watkins downfield downed it at the 1. Rossum has been one of the best in the NFL this year at returning punts and kicks. And now the 49ers, who just suffered one safety, are at their own 1.
Yeah, and they're here at this position. I know Mike Martz, he's thinking about one thing and one thing only, and that's doing anything he can to pick up at least one first down.
Frank Gore gets it, and Gore just got it out across the goal line. Tank Johnson, who is in there with Jay Ratliff, a big defensive front for the Dallas Cowboys, trying to shut down this running game. No gain, 2nd and 10.
Well, this is, the question really is, how much confidence does Mike Martz have in Shaun Hill? And I don't know the answer to that, but we'll find out, because as I said a moment ago, this team struggles in short yardage situations. They know right now, the Cowboys do, that the 49ers want to try to run the ball for a first down, and I don't think they're going to be able to do that.
Here is Gore. Gore gets a little breathing room. Zach Thomas and Brady James in there. A gain of only 2. 3rd and 8 coming up. Shiloh Rishal is getting his first start at right guard, the rookie 2nd-round pick out of USC, and he will be tested here.
Yeah, and he's done a good job too, Joe. I mean, he gets a few opportunities over the last couple of weeks to come in and play, and he is getting his chance here today to be a starter, and he might have been, I said Heitman a little earlier, he might have been the one responsible, for the sack on Hill a little earlier as well.
49ers last 8 plays, they've lost 9 yards. 3rd and 8. They stay conservative, and Gore goes nowhere. And there's Ratliff again. And now Andy Lee, who just had one blocked, is going to have even less room backed up thanks to the play by Jay Ratliff.
Yeah, I think Jay Ratliff, I said earlier in the broadcast, he's a 7th-round pick. I think he's the reason why you don't trade all your draft picks for one player like the New Orleans Saints did a few years ago, because there are fines late in rounds and on second-day drafts, and he's been a great find for the Cowboys.
Lee hits it. Had room to do so, and Patrick Creighton takes it down inside the 35. A 12-yard return after a 44-yard punt. Hudson on the tackle. Cowboys have a lead and great field position.
Hey, Merry Christmas.
Let's brighten. Let's sparkle. Let's deck every hall.
You're right, we do need a wreath.
Let's holiday this season at Lowe's. Let's build something together.
Lowe's is committed to providing low prices that can't be beat. Guaranteed.
This is two-dimensional. But your teeth are three-dimensional. That's why the Oral-B Triumph delivers 3D cleaning action. Its unique cupping action surrounds each tooth to gently break up plaque and sweep it away, giving you noticeably cleaner teeth and healthier gums by your next checkup. Oral-B Power Brushes with 3D cleaning action. Give the gift of a healthy mouth with power brushes from Oral-B.
So we're going to need copies of the presentation, printed and bound, and we'll need it by 8 a.m.
Well, I guess it's going to be an all-nighter.
Actually, this morning I used print online from FedEx office. I uploaded our presentation. They're going to print, assemble, and deliver it, so it's waiting for us.
What? What did you say? What did she say?
Now save 15% when you upload your presentation to FedEx Office Print Online. Go to fedex.com/printonline.
Troy, other than the 75-yard touchdown pass to Terrell Owens, the Cowboys have 35 yards on 14 plays. They really haven't done anything on offense except one play.
That's right. I mean, they have not run the ball. Mike Singletary said coming in, we've got to be able to control the running game, and Marion Barber, they've done that. They've really done it all, with the exception of not getting the tackle on Romo and allowing him to throw the big ball.
On first down underneath, it's Marion Barber. Dives to the 30, picked up 5. Takeo spikes on the tackle. You had to be impressed. I think any football fan would have to be impressed with how Dallas ran out the clock last week at the Washington Redskins. On the road, they lined up, handed it to Marion Barber, who touched the ball on 11 straight plays, and the game was over.
Well, he's that type of back. I mean, he's an unbelievable player. He's physical. He's powerful. He doesn't have great speed, and that's what they did lose. You know, we're talking about Felix Jones. Felix Jones was a home run threat from anywhere on the field. Marion Barber's not that, but he brings a lot to the table.
They fake a toss, and this one is batted back in the face of Tony Romo. Manny Lawson got up and knocked it down. Tony Curtis was the intended receiver. And it's 3rd and 5.
Well, this is a good job by Manny Lawson, because they had a chance to get the ball to Curtis and probably pick up the first down. And now it comes to 3rd down again. And whether or not San Francisco is able to hold up, and whether Dallas elects to go for it on 4th down if they don't make it here, or settle for a field goal attempt. But if the 49ers can hold them to a field goal attempt, considering where the Cowboys got the ball, that'd be a pretty successful possession for them.
Another high snap from Gerard, and the pass is off the hands of Roy Williams. And now it's 4th and 5, and you're talking about roughly a 48-yard field goal try by Nick Folk.
You know, watching Tony Romo here in this first half and how well he's throwing the ball, that ball actually looked like it came out pretty well for him. Wanted to lay it to the outside, away from coverage, away from Walt Harris. And a ball that Roy Williams probably would normally catch. He's got exceptional hands. He's still getting settled into the offense, but you know, he's another one of those playmakers that a defense has to concern themselves with.
Good snap, good hold, and Folk hits from 48. By the way, that was the 3rd time in 5 drives for Dallas that they did not pick up a first down. So they continue to struggle, and we look ahead to what's coming up in the second half of our doubleheader here on Fox. Kurt Warner, Eli Manning, former teammates back in 2004. And it's the Giants running game against the aerial attack of the Arizona Cardinals. That should be a fun one coming up the second half of the day here on Fox.
Don't you just kind of marvel at what Kurt Warner has been able to do, not just this year either. When he came on at the second half of last season, and the numbers that he has put up, and you know, I know in visiting with him while he was with the Giants and when he left, he said, I still feel like I have great years left in me. But I always laugh at that, because we all always thought we had great years left in us. I mean, I thought I had great years left in me when I was retiring as well, and you just didn't think he would ever get another opportunity to be the guy. And it's a real credit to Ken Wisenhunt and the Cardinals for recognizing, yeah, we've got a first rounder in Leinart, but this is the guy who gives us the best chance, and didn't let politics come into that decision.
This is Delaney Walker, who was waiting deep for it, and there's a mistake by Folk as he knocks it out of bounds. Folk doesn't have a touchback all year, and now you can see the reaction on the sideline. Folk drives it out of bounds, and the 49ers will start at their own 40. I just want to finish on Warner. He is one of the legitimate, genuine good guys. So many guys are one way when the camera's on them and the spotlight's on, and then they're different. Kurt Warner is not. He's still loved in St. Louis, where he won the Super Bowl and 2 MVPs. And now this year, if he wins a 3rd MVP, as only Favre has done, I mean, I think you're talking about a legitimate Hall of Fame career for Kurt Warner.
Well, I don't get into any of those discussions as far as who and shouldn't be, but he certainly has the credentials.
How about a wildcat formation and a direct snap to Michael Robinson, who played quarterback in college, handing off to Frank Gore in a gain of 3.
Yeah, in fact, Michael Robinson there in college was a quarterback. He played a little running back and some wide receiver, but primarily a quarterback. And And I know when Zach Kesey went on IR a few weeks back, they put Michael Robinson then at fullback, and he was doing a lot of blocking, and probably more blocking than what he cared to be doing. And I know Mike Martz the other day said that, you know, we just need to get the ball into his hands. He's a playmaker, and that's one way to do it. Go to the Wildcat.
2nd down and 7. Hill is in trouble, ducks it, and now slings it to Isaac Bruce, who's good for 5. 3rd and short coming up. Kurt Menefee is as well with a game break.
Well, at one point the Lions were up 17-0 over Tampa Bay, but then again they are the Lions. Jeff Garcia finds a wide open Jeremy Stevens, 24 yards on the score, and the Bucs have come all the way back and taken the lead 21-17 late in the 2nd quarter. Joe, Troy, and Pam.
How about that? You're up 17-0 at home. You're 0-10. And before the half is over, you're trailing 21-17.
Well, as Kurt said, they're the Lions.
3rd down and 2, and this one is incomplete for Gore with DeMarcus Ware in coverage.
Well, this kind of gives you an idea of what kind of athlete DeMarcus Ware is. He's one-on-one, man-to-man coverage on Frank Gore. And Frank Gore had a step on him. If Hill is able to lay that ball, and that's what Gore wanted to throw, then I think that they've got a touchdown. But when you put a defensive end or an outside linebacker on a running back like that, you're hoping that, one, pressure is going to be able to get to the quarterback, or that the quarterback, as was the case there, is not going to make a perfect throw.
Marcus Ware with 3 tackles and a sack, and now running downfield in pass coverage. Andy Lee hits it. Creighton lets it go over his head, and one hop off the hands of Marcus Hudson and into the end zone. Hudson was in position and was thinking good thoughts until it was just out of his reach.
Yeah, I think he got a little too cute there. If he had been able to jump in the air and bat that one back into play, but he thought that he could hold his feet in the field of play and catch it. Ball just was too far out of his reach.
So Dallas will have it at their own 20, up by 6 in what has been a rather unimpressive first half for this Cowboys offense. Now Tashard Choice is in at tailback. Cowboys have only 2 first downs in this game, and Choice gets it. Brought down by Justin Smith, the gain of 5.
And there's the rookie who comes in and will spell Marion Barber, at least for the foreseeable future, since there's no other running backs on the roster. And Tashard Choice is a lot like Marion Barber. He's not an overly fast guy. He doesn't give them the big play ability that Felix Jones did, but he has the passion and the love of the game, just like Marion.
And now both guys are in. Choice is lined up in front of Marion Barber, and now in motion. 2nd and 5, and Romo throws. T.O. Another big one. A little shove on Nate Clemens. No call. And now a 45-yard catch to go along with his 75-yard touchdown catch.
Well, the 49ers go man-to-man coverage. They got a safety in the middle of the field. You're going to see Romo. He's going to try to get this safety to move to the left. He gives him the fake, comes back to the seam route there to Terrell Owens. And Nate Clemens never turns his head for the ball. He was in a pretty good position initially, but he's so worried about the speed there of Terrell Owens, as he should be, that he never gets turned around. But a ball that was laid to the outside and gave Terrell Owens a tremendous amount of field there to work in order to make that catch.
And his first 100-yard game in his last 14, and I saw a smile. Handoff is to Choice, and he and Romo were not on the same page. Brea Franklin is there to make the stop, but Tashard Choice, I believe, if I'm going to go with one guy or the other, I'm going to say Choice made the mistake with which direction he went on that run. 2nd and 10.
I would go with that, and I'll tell you, Terrell Owens right now, you know, they're putting Nate Clemens on him quite a bit, and I think Nate Clemens right now is a little nervous about the whole thing, because Terrell Owens now twice here in this first half has run by him.
Well, they're paying Nate Clemens like he shouldn't be nervous. He got a big deal to come to the 49ers from Buffalo. And 2 big ones from T.O. Here's Roy Williams. That one came out funny. And Roy Williams gave it all he had, but out of his reach. It's 3rd and 10. So now Wade Phillips' team is faced with another 3rd and long. And Terrell Owens, who used to star with San Francisco from '96 through 2003, his best years from 2000 to 2002 was with the Eagles in '04 and half of '05, and now is in his 3rd year in Dallas.
And Nate Clemens is matched up again in man coverage with Terrell Owens.
Romo for Barber. Going to make Marion do it himself, and he cannot get the first down as he picks up 7. Tackle is made by Roderick Green, and the field goal unit has to come on again.
I tell you, I think you got to be pretty pleased with the job that San Francisco has done overall. I mean, they come into this game and you look across the line of scrimmage and you see Terrell Owens and Marion Barber and Roy Williams and Jason Witten and all the guys that they have to get the ball to, and yet we have seen Nate Clemens get beat a couple of times, and at times that's going to be expected. But overall, I think that they've had a good showing here in this first half.
Now a 41-yard try by Folk, who is 2 for 2. And the lead is 9. And we look at the playoff picture. The Giants are leading the way clearly, not just in the NFC East, but in the NFC with a 9-1 record. Then Carolina, chance for Arizona today at home against the Giants to do something about trying to get home field advantage at 7-3 and leading the West. That's basically over. And then you've got the 2 teams that are at the top of the wild card playoff picture, but at this point, not only do you have a bunch of teams at 6-4, 1 team at 7-3, but those teams are going to meet up. And for the Dallas Cowboys, Troy, 2 games in 5 days against the 49ers, then a struggling Seattle team, and I would say a chance to get to 8-4 with 4 very tough games coming up in December. You hope to split, maybe at worst, those 4 games, then you're up to 10 wins and you should be back in the playoffs.
I think that's how they're looking at it, and whether it's this game or the game on Thursday against Seattle, the Cowboys fully expect to come out of this 2-game stretch, as you said, at 8-4 and get themselves at least well positioned going into a pretty difficult schedule in December.
Here's Delaney Walker, backup tight end, who's now returning kicks with the injury to Allen Rossum, and Walker gets it to the 19. The other game we talked about is coming up on Thanksgiving right here on Fox, and the tradition continues here in Dallas. The Seattle Seahawks coming in to take on the Cowboys. Pregame show starts at 4 Eastern. So you'll be having turkey. We'll be here doing football for you. And, that'll be another opportunity for this Dallas team. I would say this. The first half, San Francisco has still impressed me, even though they're down by 9 points.
Yeah, and Dallas has not been real impressive. And we talked about it coming in. What's Dallas going to show today in this ball game coming off really a big win, a must-win last week against Washington?
Here's a ball coming loose, and Zach Thomas falls on top of it. The officials are all looking at each other, asking, was Thomas touched down? It appears he was, as he recovered the fumble.
The whistle was blown down by contact. Dallas ball, first down.
So Dallas has the football. Thomas was hoping that he was not touched while he was down, and then it was a touchdown. Let's take a look. 2 of his players are on top of him. Nobody touched him. Nobody from San Francisco touched him. Tank Johnson and Brady James did. But while he was down, nobody from San Francisco put a hand on him.
Well, that should be a reviewable play, because you're right. I mean, it's pretty obvious right there that no one does touch Zach Thomas, and it's a touchdown. And it's my understanding that you can review down by contact.
Well, the one fallback they have is that the whistle blew, and that was part of the explanation by Mike Carey. And even though you and I and other announcers have been told don't refer to the whistle, the play was blown dead, and therefore Dallas has to do it on offense, with Terrell Owens making a catch and picking up 8. But clearly a missed call, and Takeo Spikes and Terrell Owens get up yelling at one another on 2nd and 2.
I think the bigger issue, though, Joe, is really San Francisco and unable to take a snap from center. And, you know, some things you just start taking for granted, I guess, as a coach and as a quarterback or as an offense, and you don't think about, you know, okay, we've got a quarterback who hasn't been playing a lot, but he's been playing enough to where some of the fundamentals should happen without having to put a whole lot of work into it.
2nd down and 2, a little fake throw, and Marion Barber has a first down and sets up 1st and goal. You know, I would say this, that after that win last week, not only did Tony Romo come back in that win against the Redskins, so did the Dallas defense. And of late, they've stepped up their play. 2-minute warning here in Dallas. Cowboys up 9.
Today's game on Fox is sponsored by Visa. No matter how you celebrate game day, Visa is the way to go.
I, Brian Urlacher, challenge thee to an honor duel.
A what?
An honor duel.
That was me, Brian Urlacher. Then I started using swagger from Old Spice. Who's laughing now? Me.
So you're wondering, how's this gonna work? The whole typing with no keyboard thing can be kind of iffy. But there's nothing iffy about this. The screen clicks like a key. And looky here, it's typing Reno, Nevada instead of Rhino Frittata or Emo Pinata. What more could you ask for? Well, yeah, everyone asks for those guys.
America's largest 3G network introduces the world's first touchscreen BlackBerry. Only from Verizon Wireless.
A cast iron V8 block makes your truck weigh more. You want the aluminum one that lets you tow more. That's having your cake and eating it too. Available on the full-size Tundra, the truck that's changing it all. Most half-ton exhaust manifolds are built the old-fashioned way. You ask for headers born from racing and built for power. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. Available on the full-size Tundra, the truck that's changing it all.
I'm Donovan McNabb of the Philadelphia Eagles, and I'm part of NFL Play 60, the NFL's movement for an active and healthy generation. On Thanksgiving weekend, tune in and join the NFL in helping children in your community live more active and healthy lives. Learn more at NFL.com/Thanksgiving.
Could Bones really work with her dad?
My father is an accused murderer.
Boots killed more people than Max has.
Why'd you have to bring that up?
Bones, all new Wednesday at 8, 7 Central on Fox.
Zach Thomas with a fumble recovery on the quarterback center exchange moments ago. We're going to get official word from New York on that ruling when Mike Carey said that the whistle had blown, and I think that's going to be their fallback, that the play was over. The whistle had blown. Dallas had the ball, couldn't advance it. But we'll give that to you with 2 minutes left. 1st and goal. Handoff to Barber. Justin Smith was there, and he had help from Takeo Spikes, a gain of 1.
I'll tell you what, both of these defensive teams are doing a great job stopping the running game. I mean, Dallas comes in with a pretty explosive running game of their own in Marion Barber, and I know the 49ers, although they don't run the ball a whole lot, when they do, they're one of the better teams in the league rushing the football. But both of these defenses have done a nice job shutting that part of it down.
One of the most intimidating looking defensive coordinators I've ever seen. A good NFL linebacker, 2nd and goal.
Amazing what a good staff will do for him.
Barber picks his way to the 1. Word is, by the way, from Mike Pereira in the NFL office, the play was not reviewable. Once the whistle happened, play was dead. The return by Zach Thomas didn't count. Obviously, the fumble recovery did, and in the end, it's just a missed call on the field by this officiating crew, and it's up to the Dallas Cowboys to make it a moot point if they can pound it in. It's 3rd and goal. And now timeout is taken by the 49ers. 45 seconds left, 3rd down and goal, and we'll tell you that the Visa halftime report is coming up. Kurt, Terry, Howie, Michael, and Jimmy will have scores and highlights from around the league, and the Fox Sports ticker will keep you updated with up to the second stats. Last time I saw it, it was a 10-3 Jets lead at Tennessee, as there it is right there, as the Titans are trying to stay perfect in the win-loss column and go 11-0. He's been a nice addition. Justin Smith, former Cincinnati Bengal and Missouri Tiger. They've been very pleased with the way he's played.
Yeah, he brings a certain element of toughness to that defense, and I think they have really been fortunate to have a guy like him on their team. A pretty versatile player. Not a lot of finesse in his game either. I mean, he comes off the ball and he plays hard on every down. And when you have those types of players that can be great leaders for your ball club and really buy into what it is that Mike Singletary is trying to get through to this club and trying to do it in a relatively short period of time. It's nice when you've got guys like Justin Smith who understand and appreciate what Mike Singletary is doing.
And you can see he's reliable. 118th consecutive start. It's 3rd and goal from the 1. Play action. Romo fires for the touchdown to Bennett. He's smiling again.
On a play like that, you're just trying to get a step on the defender. And Martellus Bennett, who's working across right there, he gets out in front of Takeo Spikes, and just no chance there to be able to bring him down before he crosses the goal line.
So Bennett, who had the game winner last week at the Redskins, gets his 3rd of the season. And it hasn't at times been pretty for Tony Romo in this Dallas offense, but now you look at the scoreboard and it goes back to what we said early. 1st and goal from the 4, 2 times for the 49ers on offense. They came away with only 6 points, and that's showing up right now.
Yeah, and it's obvious that everybody at home knows that when you get down in the red zone, of course you want to come away with touchdowns as opposed to field goals. But when you're the outmanned team in a game like this, then it becomes even more important. And that's why I said at the time when it was 3-0, if the 49ers did not come away with a touchdown on that possession and make it 10 points, that I thought they were going to have a hard time keeping up with Dallas, because you just know that Dallas is explosive enough, even when your defense has played pretty well, as San Francisco has. They're going to make enough plays and put enough points on the board that those then come back to haunt you, and that's what's happened here in this first half.
For Dallas today, they've had a 75-yard touchdown pass to T.O., a block punt for a safety, a 45-yard pass to Terrell Owens, 2 fumble recoveries, or the fumble recovery, 2 long field goals, 2 goal line stands defensively, and now the 1-yard touchdown pass on 3rd and goal to Bennett. Delaney Walker another chance, and Walker gets to the 15. That's it. Still going, but he was down about 20 seconds ago. This January, Fox once again brings you the greatest week in college football, beginning with a FedEx Orange Bowl, the Allstate Sugar Bowl, the Tostitos Fiesta Bowl, and the FedEx BCS National Championship game. It's college football's biggest games this January, only on Fox.
I thought last night's game was pretty interesting, Joe. I know a lot of Texas fans around here were wanting to see Oklahoma beat Tech. I tell you what, as good as Oklahoma looked, you got to be careful what you hope for sometimes. They may just leapfrog the old Longhorns.
Yeah, they didn't just beat Texas Tech, they took them apart. 43 seconds left in the half. Underneath, it's Robinson. And Robinson gets 7. San Francisco has just 1 timeout left.
I think, I mean, right now, San Francisco, let's be honest. I mean, they're playing. They're going to do everything they can. There's no reason not to go into a 2-minute offense here, but they need to be careful as well.
What a hit from Brady James on Michael Robinson. And that may be a loud end to this first half.
Well, you got Shaun Hill trying to get everybody lined up. Nobody's moving. I think they're saying, hey,
another one.
Let's just call it a half.
Yeah, that was fun. We're done. That's all. Get me out of here. Brady James, with that head start, delivered the exclamation point on the end of what turned into, Troy, a pretty good first half for this Dallas defense. First couple of possessions, not good. On the part of the 49ers, they took it down the field. The completions to Isaac Bruce. But then the Dallas defense, as they did last week in Washington, figured it out. We will go to the Visa halftime report. The Dallas Cowboys trying to get a win on the Sunday before Thanksgiving. 6-4 record, lead 22-6. Visa halftime coming up.
Fox NFL Sunday doubleheader action continues as division leaders collide. Eli Manning and the bruising 9-1 Giants are gunning for their 6th straight victory. But MVP candidate Kurt Warner has the high-powered Cardinals looking for the upset. Fox NFL Sunday doubleheader action continues later today.
It's a special time of year. Time to give the ones you love the power to own the road.
Yeah.
Celebrate the season of Audi with over 130 channels of Sirius satellite radio and enjoy no payments at signing when you lease or finance select Audi models.
I'm Saxby Chambliss, and I approve this message.
Our economy is in turmoil, jobs lost, pensions in jeopardy. Barack Obama's new taxes would be a disaster, yet Jim Martin supports them. But that's no surprise. Martin voted for the largest tax increase in Georgia history, raised the sales tax 32%, even tried to raise property taxes 150%.
In this election, you have a simple choice. I want to cut your taxes. Jim Martin wants to raise your taxes.
Announcing Mazdanomics. In times like these, you need a solution like this. Get 0% APR financing plus 0 monthly payments for 90 days on 509 Mazdas, like Mazda 3 and the totally new Mazda 6. With Mazdanomics, you cash in big. Now get 0.0% APR financing plus 0 monthly payments for 90 days. Hurry, these are the cars, this is the time.
The year-end sell-a-thon is on, and the clock is ticking. We're closing out 2008 by giving you some amazing deals. Now through the end of the year, you can get up to $7,500 in combined cash allowance on 2008 models. Plus, get a no extra charge DVD on select Chrysler and Jeep vehicles. And we have hundreds of financing options available, so we're making it easier to get the new Chrysler or Jeep vehicle you want. The year-end sell-a-thon is on at your Chrysler Jeep dealer, so hurry in before 2008 is over.
Listen up. Scores, highlights, sports, in your face, all on Fox 5.
The Visa Halftime Report, sponsored by Visa. No matter how you celebrate game day, Visa is the way to go.
And welcome to the Visa Halftime Report. Kurt Menefee along with Terry, Howie, Michael, and Jimmy. And I guess everything's fine in Dallas these days, TV.
We're happy. Good to have Tony back. And T.O., he squeaked all week, so we greased him up a little bit here. You notice how Tony avoided the sack, and then he found Terrell. Terrell's a fine addition to a football team, and we're happy for him.
Jerry Jones impression?
That's as close as I can get. I love our fans up there. Carlos Poco, he nails this and gets blocked. Andy Lee blocks the punt. For the safety, Cowboys awfully impressive in the first half, 22-6. That Cowboy defense starting to really take it up another notch. Eagles at the Ravens. Quentin Demps. Jerry Jones, you know I love you. Quentin Demps takes this kickoff back. Howie, how far can you run?
Right now?
Right now. Tell me 100 yards.
No.
That's how far that was. 100 yards, 10-7 Ravens on top of the Eagles at half. Bears at St. Louis. Kyle Orton, high ankle sprain, played last week. Didn't play well. Plays well in this game. Wally Alguglia sacks Mark Bulger. Bulger's out of this football game. He's replaced by Trent Green, second quarter now. Nice job. Little counter to the right, back to the left. Hand it to Matt Forte. 10 rushes, 88 yards in the first half. 47 coming on this touchdown run. 24-3, Bears all over the Rams. Viking at Jacksonville. The snap is kind of bounces off the ground. Napoleon Harris picks it up. He takes it back 27 yards for the touchdown. Vikings 7-0 over the Jaguars. Later on, Chester Taylor, single back set, goes to the right. Nowhere to go, bounces back to the left. Good job of running. 3-yard touchdown run. Vikings on the road, 17-10 over the Jaguars. Tampa Bay and Detroit. Garcia, what he does well. Get a little pressure on him, gets out of the pocket. Ike Hilliard on a deep post route, crossing over. 36-yard strike, 17-14 Lions. And then a seam right route to the tight end, Jeremy Stevens, straight down the field. Read the safety, go away from him. That's what Garcia does. 21-17. Bucks on top of Detroit. Jets at Tennessee. Hey, Brad, how you doing, buddy? How's that ranch? Cutting any grass lately? Brett Favre, 10-yard touchdown pass. This is the touchdown pass. It's a handoff, a little screen pass in the middle of Thomas Jones. He goes 10 yards, 10-3 Jets on top of Tennessee. And then New England at Miami.